afternoon, welcome to Rundlii Gaming. We're going to be doing another video. This one will be on the AEG game of 7th Hero. The goal of the game here is to obtain 6 heroes on your side of the board, and you'll be doing that through kind of sending heroes around, and we'll kind of go over the different things on it. But there are several different heroes within the game. Each of them have special abilities, and there will be certain requirements that you have to do with each of these cards. So we'll kind of go over some of the abilities here, which will be, you'll actually have a good reference card, which you see these a lot in different games. You have the Shield Maiden, which is number 1, can nullify an ability as an interrupt. So like for example, you could use this card here, and this will nullify one of the other abilities of one of the other heroes. So let's say as an example I were to try to use this guy for his ability. This can then also tap to stop me from using it. So if they wanted to avoid me from using it to do different abilities, then that's a good way to get that set up. The next one is a Worm Rider. Discard the Wandering Hero. There will be one hero that's going to be wandering around looking for a team to join. And then what that can help you do is to make sure that a particular person does not receive that particular hero. The next one is the Chieftain. Renew one of your hero's abilities. So for example, if I use this card, and let's say if this was a Chieftain, I could use this one to exhaust him to unexhaust one of the other people. So it helps you to reuse specific abilities. Then you have the Outcast, which is number 4. Another player of your choice cannot recruit the Wandering Hero. So actually 2 people here already have an Outcast, but if there is a hero that's wandering around, I can use this to make sure that player A does not get the chance to actually recruit this particular hero. And I'll show you why that might matter later as well. Oracle. You can look at the Wandering Hero, so they can exhaust their Oracle and look at the card that's currently in front of them, that's currently wandering around. The Tail Weaver. Main player may send any hero. So that allows them to send whatever they want to. Normally you have certain restrictions that you have to send, but that would actually make them able to send whatever they want to. And the Forest Rider, which is this one, that allows you to draw 2 cards into your hand. So it's pretty good for just getting additional card draw. And then as far as setup goes, you're going to get 2 of these heroes. They cannot be the same number. They have to be 2 different heroes. And then you'll also draw 5 cards from the deck. These are different heroes as well. And these are going to be cards that you can basically send around to wander as well. And we're going to go over some details on these cards here real quick. So as I mentioned, there is going to be a number up here. With this Outcast here, it is a number 4. And then there will be the details of its ability up here on the very top. And then on the bottom here it says needed hero odd number. So when this card gets flipped over here, like in this case we drew this card. So let's say if it's my turn, I have to choose a hero from my hand that is an odd number. So at this point I have a 7, a 4, a 4, a 6, and a 2. So we have to send the Forest Rider. Now the other 2 people are not going to actually know what I'm sending, so there is a little bit of risk here. The person on my right has a 1 and a 5. They know that the numbers are between 1 and 7, so this could be a 3 or it could be a 7. But it could also be a 1 or a 5. If they get a 1 or a 5, it's actually going to knock out their person. So as an example, let's say this card here was a 5. If they reveal it and they already have that card, it will get rid of both cards for them. If they reveal it and they don't currently have that card, they will then get it on their team. So at this point, they're kind of at a 50-50 shot. Is this a 1, a 3, a 5, or a 7? Now the thing is, they can also use their Oracle, because they have an Oracle on their side here, and they can look at the Wandering Hero. So what they're going to do is look at it, and at that point they determine, yeah, I need that card. And so now they have that particular card as well. Alright, and then at the end of the turn there, I will then draw a card back. Now the next player is going to do the same thing. Now you will never untap your stuff. The only way to get another one that's untapped is by getting another Oracle, and it'll cancel out the one that you currently have on there. So first you're going to draw a card from the middle. So the Strider, it says Curse of the Wasteland Hounds, needed hero, number of players or higher. So in this case we have 3 players, so it has to be a 4 or higher is what they're going to be sending around. This player here has a 5, a 5, a 6, and another 5. Now we know that if I send around a 5, this player may not take it. But if I send around a 6, if they look at it, they will probably take it. Same thing with this player. We know that they have an Oracle, so they could use that Oracle to look at it, or they may just kind of go on the idea that, hey, maybe there's a good chance that, it's not there. So I could send a 6 in hopes that it'll come back to me. And we'll go ahead and just kind of show you what that is. So now, so we'll go ahead and just say that they did not use their Oracle, and they think they're probably being set up for a trap here. So what they're going to do is go, nope, I don't want that, we're going to pass it. This player is also thinking about the same thing, because this could be a 4, because 4 would be really beneficial, because both of these people already have a 4, so if they did that, then it would wipe out the number 4 if that happened. So they're going to pass as well. And then this is going to go back to the original player, and since they already knew what they sent over, they could then recruit it. Like right now they have 4 heroes because of that. And then basically you're going to keep doing this until you have at least 6 heroes. But let's go ahead and grab another one. So this is going to, they draw their 1 card at the end of the round. Needed hero, number of players or lower. So in this case it has to be 3 or lower. This player has a number 3, a number 3, another number 3, a 4, and a 6. So obviously they have to send a 3. And we're going to go over a couple more bits of details now. Since we're starting to get a little more heroes. Alright, so this is going to go to the first player here. I can also ask for a hint. Now I know this player is not going to really want to hint because we know that this card is 3 or lower. All this player has is a 4 and a 7. So we know that this card should not be one that I currently have. So in this case I'm going to recruit it. Yeah, we'll just continue with that. Flip over the next one. Needed hero number 5 or higher. Alright, so we're going to send this over to him, this one. Now they know that they have a 5, they have a 6, and they have a 7. They obviously don't want this card because it's going to make them lose one. However, this player here is going to want to know what this card might be. They can then ask for a hint. What they do is they take one of the cards from their hand and they might say, well, I want to know if it's this card. So they're going to send this player to the person that gave out the card itself. I get to look at it. They ask me if it's a number 6. In this particular scenario, it is a number 6. So when they ask that, I will say, yes, it is the card you showed me. At that point, they know it's a number 6. But let's say if they sent me a 5 or a 7, then I would tell them no, and so at that point they don't have any information. Now the thing about that is, though, you're only going to draw 1 card per round, so at this point they're now at a max hand size of 4. Until they, get like the Striders. The Striders give them more cards. But there's not a whole lot of other ways of getting additional cards. Usually as you burn for clues, it's going to make it a little more harder. You can never ask for a hint with your last card. So let's say if I already burned 3 cards, and I cannot ask for a hint with my last card. That last card, I think, is just meant to make it to where you will always have something kind of in your hand for whenever you draw these. So how this also works is that, let's say I did not, let's see what card we have. So currently I have a 2. This particular card here is asking for a 5 or higher. I know that I do not have a 5 or higher in my hand because I have a 2. With that being said, I have to send one of my heroes that I currently have in play. So at that point I could send my 7, since I don't have a card for that. They obviously don't want it because they already have a 7. So they could take that if they chose. But we'll do that same scenario again. Let's say it asks for 5 or higher. I do not have one in my hand since I have the 2. And all I have is a 4 and a 3. So because I only have a 4 and a 3, what it's going to do instead, it's kind of like the last option you get. You draw a card from the top of the deck. You're not really sure what it is at this point. So at this point, they could hope for the best and just pick it up. Their Oracle's already used, so they're taking a risk here if they were to try to find out what that is. So, like in this case, it is a number 2. Like, it'd be really beneficial if they did take it, but they also risk if they take that, they might already have that hero and it would knock out both cards. So that's pretty much the game of 7th hero. As I mentioned, all you're trying to do is get 6 different heroes out of the 7. So you don't have to quite get all of them, but you do have to work towards getting a significant amount of them. So, as I mentioned, the rules themselves are pretty much this entire one side of the card. Like, you can literally just go down the order here. It tells you the setup on it and how to take a turn on it. A very, very simple game. Easy to learn, easy to play. On average, takes like 30-45 minutes-ish, depending on what's drawn and how much back and forth there is. But that is the game of 7th hero. If you've enjoyed this video, definitely like and comment on it. If you have any feedback about it, definitely post below. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe. We should have another video next week as well. Definitely watch for that, and we'll be doing some more how to play videos on different board games. Thank you for watching Rundlii Gaming, and you have a good day.